Hello, my crafty friends. I am so excited to be with you. I'm getting a funny message on my screen. Well, I hope I'm oriented the wrong way. I'm getting a funny message. So Facebook did an update on me. Woo woo. Yep, timing was awesome. And they've changed like my options and stuff, and I'm pretty sure I'm oriented correctly. The messages they're giving me, they've got one message going this way and the other one's going this way, reading the other the wrong way. Welcome to Stamp with Teah. I'm Teah Woodward. I'm an independent demonstrator located in Vancouver, Washington. An independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up in Vancouver, Washington. Sorry for that chaos. All of these updates took place this morning. A matter of fact, in the last hour on my Facebook page, and so that was kind of fun to navigate. Yeah, they hit some buttons and they moved some buttons, and anyway, I'm here and I'm glad to be here. I have missed you all. I've been gone for a week and I've been here at home, but I've had a lot of other activities going on, so I didn't get to be here with you, and therefore I have not properly launched the mini catalog that came out starting on July 1. Anybody that's my customer has all received the catalog and the Sale A Bration flyer that goes with it and things like that. So it's not that I didn't do anything with the catalog, it's just I haven't got to do anything live with the catalog. So here I am, and let's see okay, so there's probably a couple of things I should tell you. First is, so with the mini catalog, these messages are just driving me crazy. They're shaped like a T on my screen, right in the middle of my screen, so I really hope I'm oriented correctly. So with this July through December mini catalog, the first 2 months, July and August, has a complimentary Sale A Bration that's taking place with it. And what Sale A Bration is with qualifying purchases in increments of $50 or $100. I can hear my voice is high and tight because I got stressed out. Sorry. Oh, Facebook really should give us, like a couple of day warning ahead of time before they do those updates. That's craziness. Anyway, with qualifying purchases, there's free product that you can get, and it's stamp sets, it's designer series paper, and each of these 4 days, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that I'm going to be demonstrating some things. I'm not going to demonstrate everything, because that would mean that I don't have anything to demonstrate for the rest of the catalog. That doesn't make sense, right? So I'm going to demonstrate a couple of things each day. I'm going to show you samples that I've already got made up of other things, and I'm going to show you some of the Sale A Bration items. So by the end of these 4 days, I will have shown you all of the Sale A Bration items and my take on them, my idea of how to use them. And yeah, are you excited? If you're my customer and you've already gotten this catalog, you're probably excited because there's some pretty flippin' gorgeous craft products in here, and I can't wait to show them to you. So I feel like I'm forgetting to tell you something. Oh, I am. Kind of a big thing. Let me reach over here. That was heavier than I was expecting. So, July and August, during Sale A Bration, they have a special sign-up promotion. And with this particular promotion, so it's it's still the $125 worth of product for $99 with free shipping on that first order, a free paper pumpkin. I think that's it. Above and beyond that, oh, and then, once you sign up, you get the 20% off on your products, etc. they have this planner, and this planner comes with tons and tons of ways to construct. I should have unrubber banded this already. I've already taken all the plastic off. There we go. All right. So as you can see, I've already got a ton of pages in here, right? What I put in here was I put in the calendar. So there's an 18-month calendar, which you can set up however you want. You can use the daily, you can use weekly priorities, you can set up your weekly goals, excuse me. Then there are other pages that you can use for like bullet journaling. Then there is also, I can pull this out, there's 3 notebooks of these little, I call them notebooks, there's probably another name for them. Anyway, that you can slide into the back here. So if you want to use the regular calendar up front, but you want to have a separate bullet journal in the back, you can do that. One of these books, the one that I'm holding in my hand, has this little dot grid, if you can see that. A lot of paper crafters use that for designing purposes. I'm going to slide that back in and see if I can show you. It's kind of awkward to try to show you, but there's a pocket back here, so I've just slid that in there. Bullet journaling is a really big deal right now, as well as having an additional book or an additional space for designing, etc. Let's see, what else? So besides those pages that I already showed you, there's this many more. So it's not like there's a shortage of options for you to customize this to suit your liking. Then there are 4 pages of stickers, 2 of each of these pages for organizing or again bullet journaling. And then there is this stamp set called Making Plans. There's a stamp in there that says thank you, notes, to do, goals. There's arrows, there's banners, there's that dot grid like I just showed you that was in the book. So there's all different kinds of ways of embellishing your book, embellishing your planner. Personally, I like a clean page, and then I have doodles, usually on a separate page. So my to-do I create checkboxes, and I like to do that. And then I have separate location that I do all my designing in. So something like this might actually work well for that. I haven't tried yet. I have filled it. I have put my stuff in here. I've got my business cards in here. I put a pen in here. There's that book that I just got through telling you about. That the months are listed 1 through 12. And I believe that that's because we are a I was going to say multicultural, but it has nothing to do with culture. It has to do with regions, multi-region, global company. Okay, let me rubber band that and stick all that back to one side. No wonder I'd put that out of my head. It's kind of a big deal to talk about that. Anyway, that entire thing, the binder or the book, the 3 notebooks, all of the extra pages, the stamp set, the stickers, all of that is free when you sign up with Stampin' Up! In July and August. These ridiculous messages that are showing up on my screen, I wish they were customer messages or viewer messages, but they're not. Okay, so let's see. What do I want to show you first? I think I'm going to show you Hello Harvest. Hello Harvest. So if you've already got a mini catalog, and if you don't have a catalog and you don't already have a demonstrator, let me know. Please let me know. I would love to be your demonstrator, and I would love to send you a catalog. So if you have the catalog, Hello Harvest is on page I had these marked, and then I picked things up when I was being very efficient. Thankfully, they've put these in alpha order. Page 50. Yep. Page 50 is the third page. It actually starts on page 48. And I'm actually going to talk about all of the items that are in here. And now my screen is sideways. That's frustrating. Oh. Friends, can you tell me, so in case you just joined, Facebook had a lovely little update that happened right before I went live. And my screen was oriented correctly, and now it's not. So if somebody would please tell me if I'm sideways, or am I straight up and down, or am I correct? I would sure appreciate that, because if I'm crooked, then I'll need to restart, because I don't know why. Hi, Polly, I see you. Thank you for joining. Oh, I see Sonia too. Thank you. If somebody would please tell me I am correct. Okay. All right. That's going to be, okay. Everybody, bear with me. We're going to do our best. Now, for some reason, when I touched the screen, because I had these two messages that were showing up in a T fashion, it was the same message, but they were showing it to me twice. Maybe when I reverse the camera, maybe it'll reorient. But anyway. Hi, Kelly. Yay, I'm so glad you're here. Yay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, because looking at this camera sideways is going to drive me absolutely batty. So I am going to, they really should let us know when they're going to have an update so that we can schedule around it. I am going to turn the camera down. And darn it. And for me, that's sideways. So this is going to be a very interesting process. But if for you it's correct, then I am going to leave it the way it is. Oh man, that's just nutso though. All right. I know I've seen this happen to like Sarah Douglas and other people, other demonstrators too. So, all right. So here is the Hello Harvest, or the Rustic Harvest collection. There's a stamp set and dies. There are these labels, these leaf-shaped labels. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate the confirmation, because it's really uncomfortable on my end. Let's see if I can, because see, I can't even, okay, I can't tell if I'm in camera or not. This is just nuts. Okay, so if I come down here, I can tell. So there are these leaf-shaped, maple leaf-shaped tags, and in with these tags come, I only have a couple left. I'm going to have to put this against white so that you can see it. There are these amber jewels, and I obviously love them because I've used all but two. And the only reason there's two left is because I use everything in sets of odd. So I need to order another set of these. Just haven't had a chance to use the labels yet. I am going to keep watching my screen for anybody to tell me that, so I get it, that I'm oriented correctly. If by chance you can't see what I'm doing, so according to normal, you should be able to see what I'm doing right here. So I'm hoping. Okay, also in this suite of products, and I could have shown you the stamp set, which is right here. Here's the stamp set. There's this beautiful pumpkin, some flowers, some leaves. There are 4 sentiments, a couple little embellished areas that you can use. And then the dies have some detail dies that do not have corresponding stamps. And then these have corresponding stamps. And I am going to show you samples of those. I have a couple extra things made up. The designer series paper is really, really pretty. Some gorgeous colors. What I've been telling everybody is really the best way for you to see designer series paper and to really see the detail. Sorry, that's upside down. For you to see the detail is to go on to stampinup.com. The name of the designer series paper is Rustic Harvest 12 by 12 designer series paper, and look at the full screen of them because these are gorgeous. And I wouldn't want you to not see how beautiful they are. There's a 12 by 12 basic black cardstock, and then there's this embossing kit. I'm not going to use the embossing kit today. I will use it, I think, tomorrow. Not 100% sure, but I will use it sometime in this 4-day period. There is a tray that you use for pouring your embossing powder over your stamped image. So normally, you know, it might be a sentiment or something like that. Okay, I'm getting way ahead of myself. There's an embossing buddy that you use on your paper, and then you stamp with your Versamark ink, and then you pour your powder and you pour it into here, and then when you're done, you can pour your extra powder after you've shaken everything off, you pour it right back into your container. This looks like a paintbrush, but it's actually used to remove some excess powder that might have clung to your cardstock that you want to remove prior to heat setting it. And then while you're heat setting it, you can use these tweezers to hold your cardstock. So this looks like plastic, but it's not. These are metal. This is Teflon here. So you use this to hold the corner of your cardstock, and that's so that you don't burn your fingers. All right, so I am going to show this to you again later on another day. All right, let's get started. So here is the card that I'm going to make today. Very simple. It's a really quick card. I'm showing you several things today. I'm only demonstrating 2 items, but I'm showing you a lot more than that. Anyway, this is what you can do with that beautiful cardstock. And I just realized I didn't grab a grid paper, so one moment. I am back. Was that even a moment? I was pretty quick. Okay. This is going to go so fast. Do you love designer series paper? I do. I have too much at the moment. I have to use it up. So this card, if you make a purchase with me, is one of the make and takes this week. That if you make a purchase, I will be sending to you as a make and take. The only thing that might be slightly different is the gems. I might have to send you basic rhinestones. And then if you've got blender pens, you can color them whatever color you want. All right, so I just burnished my cardstock. This is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then I have cut a piece of designer series paper. This is 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to add, well, I'll adhere this down to this first. This is, looking for my ruler. I think I remember the measurement of this, but I'd like to be accurate. The problem with my ruler is that it's clear, so it's probably sitting right here in front of me. Now I'm looking on the floor. Okay, well I have a different one here. This is just a broken old ruler, but this is not the one I normally use on camera. So this one, this designer series paper is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. So I'm just going to use my, whoops, I went right off the edge. My multi-purpose adhesive. Doesn't take much. And I'm just going to center it right on that designer series paper. So, yep, I'm using designer series paper on designer series paper. This is so hard because when I look in my screen, I can't see if you can see it, but I'm going to trust that you can. If you can't, oh, you love this DSP? Nice. Yes. Oh, yay, Kelly. I'm so glad that you're excited for your embossing kit. I feel a little bit of adhesive right here, so I'm just going to use my rubber eraser and it's going to pick it right up. There we go. I am going to adhere this flat down on my card front. I'm just going to center it. All right, let's see. That's about right. Yeah, you love DSP in general. That's awesome. I see a sparkle on my designer series paper here, and that's not part of this paper. There we go, got it off. All right. I'm now going to take this other piece of designer series paper and put it on the inside. This is also the 4 by 5 1/4. Isn't that plaid cute? That's the other side of the DSP. This particular set of designer series paper, both sides are just striking. All right, so now we're ready to stamp two items. The first item, this is the message layer that goes on the inside of the card. I'm just going to use my Memento Tuxedo black ink, and I am using, see this little hoop-de-doo right here, this little one? I'm going to use that in the 4 corners. Normally I'm able to look through my screen and make sure that everything's really visible. I can't do that today. All right, so now this is ready to be adhered to the inside here, and that's our message layer. So it's real hot here in the Vancouver, Washington area today. All right, so that is all pretty and ready to go. Next, I'm going to stamp the sentiment, and I am going to use the other samples that I'm going to show you using this set. Use these other sentiments. Today I'm going to use this one. I am gonna pull back my hair. There we go. All right. Leaning off my little stamp. So because I can't see on the camera, I'm going to die cut this off camera, because using the cut and emboss machine is always a little tricky anyway with the camera, but with me not being able to judge it at all, the proper, oh, that's not a good impression. Let me try that again. I had too much ink in one spot. This one looks like it might not be any better. So, oh, it's good. Yep, that's good. All right. So what I'll do when I send this make and take is you will receive the card base, all of the layers of designer series paper, this white layer for a message layer, and you will receive a piece of cardstock because I don't know if you have this or not, and I can't send stamped images, so I can't die cut this one for you. So I'll send you a piece of cardstock about this size for you to figure out your own sentiment, and maybe you have a die that you would like to use, because just about anything would work very well on the front of this. So now I am looking for, here's my die. I'm going to use a piece of Post-it tape to hold the die in place. And I'm going to run this through my cut and emboss machine. And this fits through the mini. Here we go. See, it's all messy on the back because I just flipped my cardstock over and did it again. I wasn't going to waste that. Yeah, see, that turned out well. Let me put my die away. Cover up my ink. There we go. All right, now I'm going to get out some dimensionals. I'm going to put 3. I'm going to put one in the center and one kind of centered behind each of those banner flags. And then you're going to center this from side to side, and then you're going to decide where you want it. Like, I'm going to put mine pretty low because I don't want it to cover up this whole flower. I mean, gosh, that wouldn't look terrible. This is where I'm going to put it. You put yours wherever you want it. Now for my gems, because like I told you, I'm out of those amber gems that come in this set. These happen to be the champagne rhinestone basic jewels, and I'm going to color these to use using my pumpkin pie blender pen. If you use the regular rhinestones that are clear and use the blender pen, they're going to look almost identical. So that's one of the beauties of Stampin' Up! Products, is you can customize so many of the items. You can customize your ribbon, your different embellishments. So what did I do? Did I just do 4? That's all right. So I'm just going over it a couple of times, and then I'll bring this up to the camera so that you can see I'm hoping that you can see that because I cannot see it in the camera. So here's the champagne color, and then here is where I've used the pumpkin pie on it, and here is where I'm trying to remember, I think that might have been melon mambo or something like that. So I'm just going to use 3 of those that I colored with the pumpkin pie. And I'm going to put 1 down here and the other one here. And then I'm going to take 1 and stick it over here. All right, so there we go. And I'll show you the original card. So it was just a different location in the designer series paper. Whoops, there we go. So I cut it this way, and then cut it this way, and then decide what my dimension is. So pretty, right? Let me show you a couple of the other cards that I have made using this set. So this one, I used the stamp of the pumpkin. I used the stamp of the flowers, and I die cut them both. I used my blending pens to color in the pumpkin and the flowers. There's an additional flower right down here. I used a couple of those back here. And then I used some detail dies that had these tendrils, vines, and I used adhesive sheet on the back of those. And then I actually hand cut this sentiment. Here's the inside of the card, and see what I did to create a matching envelope. Beautiful, right? So pretty. There's actually another one that I've done as well. This one, I used those same flowers, but here the pumpkin is from the detail dies that are here. And then I used a dauber to apply ink around the edges to give that dimension. And then I used dimensionals behind the center layer to give the whole thing a different shape. They're the same tendrils that I used before. And then here I've used those decal edge dies. You've seen me use those before. And there's the inside. So there we go. That is the Hello Harvest set. What do you think? Do you like that? It's awfully pretty, isn't it? All right, we are going to go ahead. Let's see, I am looking. Okay. Polly says, oh, thank you. Which pumpkin card do you like? Thank you. I'm glad that you liked it. I am having to turn my head sideways to read comments. Don't stop commenting. I want your comments. But this is nuts. Okay. I'm just hoping that the video shows, well, it should. If you're seeing it correctly, then the video should show correctly. Setting this collection to one side. The next card, this is a fun card. Can't wait to show it to you. And I'm going to show it to you one way, and then I'm going to demonstrate it a different way. Because I want you to see the possibilities. But here, this is from Soft Seedlings. So this is just a stamp set. There are no dies. There's this maple leaf with the seeds. And then there's 4 sentiments. And I can't wait to show you how I made this card. But the one with the dimension, yeah, Yeah, right? I love the one with the dimension too. A lot. Okay, so let me tell you how I made this card. I start with a piece of the basic white, and then I took a piece for this card. I took a piece of our Stampin' Up! Masking paper that was new in the annual catalog this year. I cut this in half, and I'll show you why I cut it in half. Let's see, open. So there we go. So there's two different backers on here so that you can peel it off, and then the other side stays sticky. And then that peels away, very similar to a Post-it note. What I did is I cut it right along that line, and then I took this and I tore it. And I tore it in a pattern, and as you can see, I applied it, and that masked everything off and then allowed me to just decorate or embellish that very center area. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a piece and I'm going to block out the center, and I'm going to apply my ink and stamps on each side. Maybe not the center, I might make it a little bit lower. And then the sentiment will get stamped in that blocked out area in the middle. And then we'll have two different versions of this card as well. I'm going to use the same colors because I think they're gorgeous. I've used Pear Pizzazz, Crushed Curry, and Cajun Craze. The one thing I didn't do was cut this ahead of time, so let me cut that real quick. See, I'm doing this without having measured it first, so that's a little dicey. There we go. So there's the area that I'm going to use to block out with. So I am going to just lay this here. When I put this down, because there will be sticky exposed, it will, I think I've created too big of a piece. Hold on a second here. I have a decision to make. I think I need to cut it down thinner. Not a ton. There we go. That's better. All right. And I know I was saying something and I promptly forgot when I allowed myself to get sidetracked there. So now I'm going to pull that backer off. So this side is not sticky. Thrown that away. This side is sticky. This side is not sticky. This side is sticky. And I'm going to use my grid to line up my cardstock, and then to place my masking paper. And it looks about even, or not. Not quite. Let me try that again. You know, I always forget that when I make my samples ahead of time that I need to do it with the ring light so that I get the same shadows cast, so that I can figure out how to line things up. There we go. That doesn't look straight though, does it? Nope, it's not. I might have done better if I wasn't using the grid paper. because sometimes that is just how it goes. All right, so I'm eyeballing this. I think that looks straight. Now I'm going to stick it down on here. I really want this grid paper for my ink to travel off of when I use my blending brush. And get out my inks. So like I mentioned before, I'm using the crushed curry and the pear pizzazz for the background, and then I'm stamping with the Cajun Craze. And I'm looking. Yeah, you like that? Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I loved these, this stamp set the first time I saw it, but I didn't get it right away because I thought I had other priorities. And then I kept thinking, oh, I really should have gotten that. So I'm going to apply in kind of a, well, I was going to say a blotchy fashion. I didn't quite mean for it to be that blotchy. That's okay. I can fix it. And yeah, I'm really glad that I went back and got it. I do send out cards in the autumn. Not everybody does. All right. The sentiments here are really nice. Thinking of you, so grateful, for you, and hello. So even though it has a bit of an autumn feel, and I guess technically this could be made to look or feel a little bit more springy if I had used maybe bright greens. Going to clean this off with my chamois, which works just fine for these ink colors so close to each other. And I can show you. Oh, there's barely a little yellow, not much. Now I'm coming in with my pear pizzazz. And I'm just kind of hitting those white areas. Oh, I got a little messy there. I better slow down. So hopefully you saw in my post that I'm going to be going live for 4 days in a row. And I gave a list of what I'm demonstrating each day. The only reason something might change for when I'm actually going to demonstrate it is I've got 2 items that haven't arrived yet. And at the moment they're due to arrive on Wednesday. If they arrive on Tuesday, then it might switch up my Wednesday and Thursday. And it's because of how things group together. So we'll see. I was trying to pair up the Sale A Bration items and catalog items so that it was cohesive when I was demonstrating. Okay, at the moment this is looking a little bit like an abrupt tie-dye, so I need to come in and just start taking a little bit more time now. And I'm aiming for that area between the yellow and the green. And blending those into a little softer join. Can you still see I have this tape right here? So this last weekend, I went to my 40-year high school reunion. That was a blast. So nice to see people. I missed my 30-year, so I was grateful to go to my 40. Man, I seem to be a lot more heavy-handed this time than I was when I did my sample. That's all right. Well, maybe when I stamp over the top, it'll kind of hide some of that. But it was awesome to see my classmates. It's becoming more and more important to me to make some of those connections. My class had 376 graduates, and of that, almost 25% have already passed away. So sometimes you need to connect with people and let them know how they impacted your life. I had the privilege of visiting with a couple of people that, when I was in high school, I was in a wheelchair. And back then, 40 years ago, wheelchair ramps were not a thing. So I either had to go to school at home or find a way to navigate at the high school itself. And there were a few people that were instrumental in getting me from class to class, because within the school there were not wheelchair ramps either. There were some very steep graded ramps that you could not navigate by yourself. So anyway, I had the opportunity to let those people know that them being helpful to me back at that time has kind of shaped how I choose to be a benefit to others around me. I really hope that I'm not messing this up. So anyway, it's important for us to connect. I'm just going to fill in just a little bit more, and then I'm going to go ahead and move to stamping. And some of these heavy spots just might influence where I place my stamps. All right. So I'm going to leave the tape on here when I do the next set of stamping. Oh, is it really, Polly? Oh my gosh. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah. I told you that ruler was clear and it was sitting right here on my desk and I couldn't find it. How silly is that? All right. So here is my maple leaf with the seed pods. Just going to apply and let's see, where's my focal point? So there's one. There's the next one. Let's see. Remember, I'm doing above and below that line, right? Now I want to hit, I need a little something right there. Let's see. Let me, then I think I just need something in that corner right there and I'll be good. All right, so now look at how striking that is. Closing up my ink for a moment, gonna wash off my pad. Or wash off my stamp, I meant to say. And then I'm just going to gently peel back my masking. See that? It's kind of artwork all by itself, isn't it? I meant to show you, here was the masking from my previous card that I had torn. So now is when I get nervous because I need to stamp a sentiment in here and I've got to make sure it's straight. Let's see, so this one I said thinking of you, which I think I'm going to go for that again because that's my biggest sentiment here. So I can put it off to one side, I can put it in the center. I think I'm going to put it off to one side though. Are you liking this look? Okay. Looks like that was not perfectly straight, but it's straight enough. We're going to call it good at this point. I really love Cajun Craze. It's such a rich color. So this next weekend, my husband and I are taking a road trip to Lehi, Utah for my mother-in-law's 90th birthday. Ooh, ta-da! Isn't that pretty? And my husband can't get time off of work, so, well, he got one day off. So we are doing a bomb run. We leave on Friday morning and come back on Sunday. So that'll be fun. It will be fun. It will be very nice to see family and to celebrate his mom's birthday. She had a bad accident some months ago, and it was one of those very unsettling situations to be far away from your parent when the future was uncertain. So we are glad to go and spend time with her. Look at how beautiful this is. Oh, I mean, doesn't that just reek elegance? So I do have one more piece of paper that I'm going to stamp for the inside, And all I'm doing is I'm going to stamp just a couple of the seeds. I might as well go ahead and do that now, and then I will start adhering everything together. So I'm just going to stick with the Cajun Craze. I'm just in love with this card. There we go. Very nice. Close up my ink. I am now done applying ink. So I'm going to apply the card front first. I'm going to raise it up on dimensionals. I'm not even going to use ribbon. I'm just going to use some of our brushed metallic gems. Now you could do the same technique. If you don't have this masking paper, you could use Post-it notes. A painter's tape that is low tack. Put that one in a weird spot, didn't I? There are lots and lots of ways to use this masking paper. I have not planned another way of showing you in this 4-day extravaganza, but in the coming weeks, I certainly will. All right. So this piece of paper is 4 by 5 1/4. This card front measurement is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I'm just centering, just like such. Going to use my multi-purpose adhesive to apply this layer on the inside. You could just stamp on the inside of this and call it a day, but I like to add a little bit of weight to counterbalance the front of my card. So I like to actually lay a liner in there. Come on. So Polly, is your reunion coming up soon? All right, so there's that. Now all I need to do is add my brushed metallic adhesive backed dots. And these come with 3 different colors. I could probably use any of them. There's this bronzy color that has kind of a green tinge. That would look fine. There is a copper, and then there's gold. On this first one, I used gold, but I'm thinking I might use copper or I think I'm going to use the copper. I like to take my pick tool, or take your pick tool, to pick up my gems and place them. Oh. That one kind of went sideways on me. I didn't have enough of a hold of it. There we go. I think I'm going to leave that strip just white and not put a gem in here. I just didn't love how that looked, so I'm going to do that. Do a better job of picking up my gem this time. Really kind of needs something over here. I'm fussing. Okay. So, card number 2 is done. Those are all the demonstration cards that I'm doing today. Now, I didn't do an envelope for this, but it would be very, very easy to do a coordinating envelope using this seedling on the front or on the back. Aren't these pretty? All right, let me show you a couple of other collections. I could get my dots put away here. Just make myself some space. Right. So one of the other bundles that I was going to show you today, I'm not demonstrating it, I'm just showing you a sample, is this set that's called Bewitching. And it is a stamp set that has 6 stamps. It's got 3 hats, 1 pair of feet, some stars, and a spider. And then there is this punch. And that punch is the hat, a hat band, and 3 stars. And this is what I made. It says, hey, good looking. And to create this background, I used Versamark ink, so clear ink, on Gorgeous Grape. Here I used the Parakeet Party glimmer paper, the Parakeet Party cardstock. The Gorgeous Grape for the stars on the inside, and again with the spider. So how cute is that? What I really wanted to make, but I don't have here yet, are some treat bags, and I wanted to show you this as a tag on the treat bags. I live in an apartment complex, and I don't get a lot of like random trick-or-treaters, but I do get kids that I know, and so I like to make up a cute little tag to go with a bag that I've already prepared for them. So we don't have them come and dig through a bowl. I actually have pre-made bags that I hand out to everybody. So anyway, and I think I've mentioned before, my daughter, her birthday is on Halloween, so we tend to do fun stuff. We don't do spooky stuff, but we do some fun stuff, and this is fun. I added a little wink of Stella to the buckle on the hat and the buckle on the shoes. Didn't that turn out cute? All right, so there's Bewitching. Oh, and then I should tell you where I got these sentiments from. These sentiments came from Amazing Phrasing, which was in the Sale A Bration flyer. This you can get with a $100 purchase. The reason this stamp set is with a $100 purchase is look at how many stamps are in here. There's 17 stamps in here. So this is photopolymer. I've already put them on the case. So that's where I got this. I picked the Hey and Good Looking down here. Then, so that is that set. Then this is a Sale A Bration stamp set called Stylish Sketches. And for this one, I picked these figs. And on Crumb Cake, I stamped with Crumb Cake that image, and then with Crumb Cake on white I stamped the image, die cut it with the layering circle dies. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right, and then I layered it with some Blackberry Bliss. I used my Old Olive and Blackberry Bliss blender pens, and then stamped this sentiment, I miss you, in with Blackberry Bliss, and that also comes from this stamp set. It's right here. So this is from the $100 stamp set. This is with the this is a with the purchase of $100 you can get this for free. With the purchase of $50 you can get this one for free. These ducks, these are actually mallards. And then we've got a fox. So, and then on the inside, I just stamped those figs again, but with the crumb cake ink. So let me pull out everything that I'm showing you today. Of course, I cannot see on the camera whether or not you can actually see everything. Ah, blessed me. But let's see, maybe if I do it this way. So there's our Soft Seedlings, our Hello Harvest, our Bewitching, and then a couple of Sale A Bration items. Tomorrow I will be spinning, oops, I obviously didn't get that one adhered all the way down. I just picked it up with my finger. There we go. Tomorrow I will be leaning more towards the Christmas avenue with the lights aglow. I'm trying to remember everything. I've got some specialty papers that I'm showing you. Yeah, so that's what I've got going tomorrow. I listed everything out in the itinerary. I will pin that to the top of my page. Maybe say a little prayer for me that this video turned out okay. Otherwise, I've got to reshoot it. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate all of you. I really appreciate you putting up with my okay, Polly saying they already got to get, oh, okay, you weren't able to make the trip. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, there were several people that couldn't make it to ours too. But we've been posting lots of pictures so that everybody could see. That was how we did it. Well, thank you for joining me today, everybody. I hope that I've inspired you, and reach out with any questions at all. Big hugs, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hugs.